Hello students, welcome in this lecture. So today this is a lecture number 4 of this introduction to data structure. This is the subject of CS 303 data structure of second year students of computer science and engineering. So today topic is algorithm and sub algorithm. Actually data structure totally dependent on algorithm. Where data is there, that's important, but without algorithm there is no need to data, because every data need an algorithm by which we have to organize data. We can perform different operation on data. So algorithm is the method by which we have to apply some algorithm, some method we have to apply on the data, so find out some analysis. So algorithm is the second part of data structure. So we will start this lecture. So first one is prerequisite. Prerequisite, then after object of this lecture, concept of algorithm. First of all, we talk about concept. Then after difference between algorithm and sub algorithm is there. So what is difference between them? Syntax of algorithm. How can write an algorithm? Actually, different many languages are there, and all the language. I suppose all the languages, either high level, low level language, all the supports algorithm. So without algorithm, you cannot develop any software, any application. So first of all, you have to talk about algorithm. Whenever you design an algorithm, so you can perform, you can implement in any other language. SELO also there of this lecture. Learning outcomes and research scope is there of this topic, and a reference is there. So we will talk about all the outlines are there. So we discuss in this lecture. Prerequisite, what we prerequisite? First of all, basic programming concept. You have to know about the basic programming language, and basic tokens of any programming language. Actually, tokens like what do you mean by variable, and what do you mean by keywords, and variables and constant. So different keyword identifier is there also. So different tokens you have to know about the in any programming language. There is no need to either C plus or Java, but just like a idea of tokens. Fundamental concept of mathematics. This is compulsory in all the lectures. In my all the lectures, this is the prerequisite, because without mathematics, you cannot understand the terms of data structure. Objective. So our objective of this lecture to remembrance to how to create an algorithm. So some basic syntax we will talk about in this lecture. Okay, and then some algorithm, sub algorithm concept through example. So through example we will I will explain you. And today we also introduce function and procedures. So both are different thing. Function and procedure both are different thing. So someone understand that, so function and procedure both are same, but there is some difference. Whenever you create a program, whenever you write an algorithm, so we differentiate it, function and procedure. So various control structure also talk about in that lecture. Control structure like conditional statement, looping statements are there. So also we will discuss. Okay. So this is our object to complete all these things in this lecture. So firstly, what do you mean algorithm? Actually, algorithm it's a rough language. It's not predefined. It's not a specified language. So this is not executable language also. Why we are saying executable language? Because whenever you write an algorithm, so you cannot execute this algorithm. You cannot find output whenever you write that algorithm in a particular notepad and then execute it. So you cannot execute. This is rough language. This is an idea how to write a program, how to write a logic. So this is the idea to write a logic. So this is not executable language. That okay? So algorithm used to develop a logic to implement in any language. Whenever you develop a logic using algorithm, so you can implement this algorithm in any particular language, any programming language. To solve any problem, first of all we have to write an algorithm to implement into computer language. So I suggest to all the programmer, all the students, all the computer known persons, first of all you have to create an algorithm to any problem and then implement into using any computer programming language. So just I give you some just idea like this type of algorithm is there. right? Some steps are there, 1 2 3 4 5. So here we use a square bracket for the comment, just like a comment line. In other language you are also using, it is a comment line. Initialize a, it means that in that line we are initializing a variable of a. So set is a keyword we are using. Generally we use an algorithm, so some specified keywords we are using in that. So set generally we use to initialize a variable, or whenever you write an expression also, like here you can see set c equal to a plus b. Okay, so for the expression for the variable initialization we are using a set keyword, and in place of equal sign we use colon and equal sign for the assignment. Whenever you assign the value of a, so colon equal sign we have to use it. Okay, and then at the end of the all the algorithm we use exit to close that algorithm, means that exit from that algorithm. So this exit we have to use whenever we use an algorithm. Is that okay? So in that we use SELO, student effective learning outcome, first and second we are using here. So at the end of the presentation I tell you these are the SELO, so in which we use only 1 and 2. So for this slide we use effectively use learning outcome first and second, and reference book R1 means the first reference book we are using for that. Sub algorithm, so algorithm is there and some sub algorithm is there. So what is difference between them actually? So sub-algorithm is a complete individually defined algorithm module. It's also an algorithm module. It's a sub-module actually. It's a complete algorithm is there. But some differentiate. This is a differentiate with the algorithm. So sub-algorithm also a complete independently defined a module. It is called by the main algorithm or by some other sub-algorithm. So whenever you create a module, so it can be called by any other main algorithm or any sub-algorithm. Means that sub-algorithm called by any sub-algorithm or called by any other main algorithm. Is that okay? Working of sub-algorithm is that how it can be work. So some steps are there. So some steps are there. Like in a C language, you can see we have a main program, main function is there, and some other user-defined function we have to create at the end of the program. So some other user-defined function we can call in the main program. So that some other user-defined function is called sub-algorithm. So what do you mean by receive value called argument from an originating calling algorithm? Actually, sub algorithm actually called argument from originating algorithm. So that sub algorithm called by the main program, but it receive it takes some argument with that sub algorithm. So whenever you call a sub algorithm, so sub algorithm passes some value to the main program wherever we call it. Okay, so some parameter we have to pass it, so these are called argument. Perform computation, so we can pass some parameter. So at the main program whenever you call the function, so with that function we pass some argument, and then this sub algorithm performs some computation, and it calculates something after that, and then send back the result to the calling program. So that sub program then return the value to the main program wherever we called that sub program. Okay, so sub program just like it's a complete independent defined module. It can be called by the main program. Whenever main program is called to that sub algorithm, so it will pass some argument. So that sub program receive the value whichever what value man algorithm passes to the sub algorithm. It performs some operation, like here it performs some operation, and then after the calculation, so that program that sub algorithm send back result to the calling program. So I can understand that. You can see here. So this is the main program. This is the main program. Here you can see set a equal to 5, b equal to 5. Okay. So function is called here. Here this is the sub algorithm. Sum a comma b. This is the sub algorithm. So in the main program we call it sum a comma b. here whenever you call it, so we have to pass two argument. These are the argument a comma b. So value of a and b equal to 5. Okay, so we have to pass it two values. So call this function. So whenever call it, so it calculates the value of c and then print the value of c. Then again return. By using return method, we have to return into the next step, that is called exit. So from exit we can exit from the program. Okay, so sub algorithm called by the main program or any other sub algorithm also. So some fundamental things regarding the sub algorithm. Sub algorithm is defined independently. It's okay. It may be called by many different algorithm, either main algorithm or sub algorithm. Many can any algorithm can be called it. It can be called at different times in the same algorithm. It means that in an algorithm you can call that sub algorithm many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, many times you can call it. So this is the benefit of sub algorithm. We define only one time and call it many times. So the relationship between algorithm and sub algorithm is similar to by which a main program and sub program like in C language. In a C language we have a main program and sub program like a function. So in a main program we can call any user defined function. So this is the same thing like that, algorithm or sub algorithm. So some differences are there. We can see algorithm and sub algorithm. Some differences. What are differences are there? Sub algorithm will usually have a heading in the form of this. Actually, whenever we define sub algorithm, so you can see sub algorithm name and then passing sub parameter, like you can see in previous slide. You can see like that. This one. This is the heading. This is the sub program, sub algorithm. In a main algorithm, there is no heading is there. Is that okay? But in a sub algorithm, we have a heading like that. Function name, sub algorithm name, and some parameter we have to pass it. Is that okay? And in that we have a return statement is there. So by this return statement, your control will be returned to the main program wherever we call it. Is that okay? So return statement also there. In an algorithm, we have an exit statement. After that, we have to quit from the main algorithm. Okay. So this is the simple thing. I think all of you understand. The sub algorithm will have a return statement rather than exit. Sub algorithm, this is a return statement, and main algorithm have an exit statement. Sub algorithm fall into two categories like that. Function and sub algorithm also divided in two parts. Function and procedures. Both are different things are there. Is that okay? So I elaborate you what is function and procedure. So function actually returns only a single value. Whenever you use function, name is difference is nothing, but whenever you return a single value, so this is called a function. Whenever you return multiple values, more than one value, so this is called a procedure. Okay, so there is not too much difference, just like a return statement is there. So whenever you return one value, so function, many values, this is the procedure. Okay, so come to the how to write an algorithm actually. How to write an algorithm. So whenever you write an algorithm, so you have to understand some syntax, some functions, some methods are there. How can write an algorithm? So there is something needed to all of you. First of all, comment. How can define a comment line actually? Comment just like a in an any programming language like C and C++, you are using a comment. So how can define a comment? Comment, it means that that instrument you are not using for the execution. So that is called comment line. Whenever you want any line in a programming, you want not executed by the compiler or interpreter, so you have to use that line as a comment line. But in an algorithm, this is not executable language. So for that, whenever you want not include in the execution of that algorithm, whenever you trace the algorithm one by one step, so this thing you didn't mind. Okay, so comment generally we write in square bracket. So whenever we write in square bracket, so this is the just description of that particular line. Okay, so whenever you write it, so this is just a description of that particular line. So this is generally used to a comment. variable name. So variable name will use capital or small letter. In other language also you can use variable, just like a variable where we can store our values like max and data. Both variable are there. I think you can also use a capital letter or small letter. But in an algorithm, all the student, I suggest you have to use capital letter, because this is the differentiation. Whenever you use capital letter, so we can understand in a better way. So this is the variable. So most of the time you have to use capital letter rather than small letter. Assignment statement. So assignment, for the assignment statement we use colon and equal sign. Suppose that max is a variable, you want to assign the value of 100. So colon and equal sign. This is the indication in an algorithm. So algorithm just like an understandable language, not executable. It's an understandable language. So whenever you write any algorithm, so someone can understand. So how can understand it? You whenever you use some specified instruction, some specified syntax, you have to use it for the variable assignment, for the variable declaration, for using the comment. You have to use all these things. So input, how you can take input? Whenever algorithm we need input from the user, so in that case you have to use read statement. Read colon sign and then after variable name. Which variable you want to input? So name variable is there. So in a name, user input a value using the keyboard. So this is the input. So read statement used for the input. And other output statement is there. So in an output case, you can use either write or print. Both statement can be used. So write colon sign. Then after you can write any message like in a string type, or any message you can display, or any variable name. Suppose you want to display sum of two values. So some variable is there where sum of a and b. So by using write method, write and then some variable. So variable name also you can use to print the value, to display the value. So write method and print both are same thing. So again, control structures are there. So all of you, I think, understand about the control structure. So there is no need to define what a control structures, but I just elaborate to you how can write an algorithm using control structure. So control structure can be defined, can be write whenever you write an algorithm to a problem. Okay. So control structures is the first one is sequence logic. Sequence logic, just like a number of lines you are writing one by one. So this is the sequence logic or sequential flow. Whenever multiple, suppose that you want to addition of two number. So a value of 5, b value 6, c equal to a plus b, print of c. So this is the sequence flow. Whenever I explain you in my previous slide, so sum of two values. And selection logic, wherever you want to use a condition. So addition of two values, but condition is there, second value should not be 0. So this is a condition. So how you can apply a condition? How can apply condition in the algorithm? How can you use it? What is the syntax for that? So we will frequently indicate the end of such structure by the statement. So whenever you use selection logic or conditional statement, at the end of the selection logic, you have to use this comment line. In a square bracket, you have to write it end of if structure. So by this anyone can understand that at that place this if statement is ended here. Okay. So this is the indication. So by which anyone can understand your logic, your algorithm. Right? You can see single like in a selection alternative, single alternative. So in that you can see if statement is there, if keyword is there, then whatever condition we apply here, a is greater than b, b greater than a, like that, any a greater than 0, like that, any condition there, comma sign is there, then and then colon sign. So number of statement will be enclosed in that, and then after that end of if structure, this line should be included at the end of the if statement. So here you can write number of lines in that case. Okay. So this is a single alternative. Double alternative is there. Double alternative is there. So in that case if else statement is there. Suppose condition is true, so that statement will be executed. Else, so this is actually syntax All of you understand. All of you understand if else statement in C language, in C++. All of you understand better. But my concern is how to write, and whenever you write an algorithm, so anyone can understand. Anyone can understand your algorithm. This is a rough language. That's okay. But you have to write all the syntax in a proper manner. So that's why anyone can understand your algorithm. Okay. So if condition, comma, then and colon sign, number, if condition is true, so these statement will be executed. Otherwise else then colon sign, so these statement will be executed. After that, whenever your if statement ended, so at that end of this end of if structure, you should include that comment line each and every if statement whenever you ended it. Okay. Multiple alternative. So in the multiple alternative, like in a C language, else if ladder statement. You know about the else if ladder statement. Here you can see if condition 1 comma then module, this one number of statement are there, it will be executed. Else then if again condition here, condition second, then again module 2 a2 will be executed. Else again if condition is, so this is the else if ladder statement in a C language, in a C++. All of you understand that. So this is the hierarchy. This is the structure of else if ladder statement. So at the end of this also we include end of if structure. This is compulsory to write this one. This is not error actually. This is just for the understanding purpose. Whenever you write it, it means that statement will be ended here. So iteration logic means that looping statement. Okay, repetitive flow. Repetitive flow means that looping statement. Two type of structure involving looping. Each type begin with a repeat statement. So whenever we use a looping statement, so we start with the repeat keyword. Repeat keyword you have to use in all the looping statement. Either while loop, for loop, whatever loop you are using. Okay, so in that we have to use repeat statement. In that also, at the end of the loop statement, we add a line that is called end of loop. This comment line you have to use it at the end of the each for loop, each looping statement. Okay. So again, just like for that, you can see repeat for loop. So this is a for loop statement. How can do this? You can see here. Repeat statement should be included. Repeat for k equal to r. Here you are not using initializing. Okay. So this is the for the condition, not initializing. Okay. So for k equal to r to s by t. What means of it? Value of k start from starting value of r. So value of k start with r and till to the s. From r to s, k value will be changed, and y which t is the increment, either increment or decrement, by which you want to process the value of k. So this will repeat. So repeat statement used for k repeated from r to s and increment or decrement by t. So this will continue this loop, and that statement will be executed again and again till to the that specified range. After that, use end of loop. Repeat while loop. While loop is there. Repeat while condition is there, and then whatever condition we are applying here, and then after colon sign is there. Colon sign. It's a compulsory. Colon sign is there. Okay. So after that while and then condition and then is number of lines are there. End of loop. So the cycle is continued. Okay. So this thing you can include. This thing you can include whenever you didn't use this thing like colon sign. So there is no error because this is not executable language. Just for your reference. So if you are using, that's better. If you are not using, so there is no problem. But your logic should be reflect in the algorithm. Whenever you use algorithm, so your logic should be reflect regarding with the problem. So that's important thing is there. So this is comma, semicolon. So nothing is, no problem is there. But if you are using, that's okay. So your presentation will be good. If you are using colon sign and other thing in a proper manner. So, so dear student, all these things we have to talk about in that lecture. So first one, these are SELO in my slide. You can see different SELO. I think I mentioned there, like student effective learning outcome. So What is the effective learning outcome of this lecture? Ability to solve problems through application of theoretical or practical concept. It means that you can solve your problem either theoretically, practically, but practically not there, but theoretically you can develop an application by using these for loop, conditional loop, all these things you can use it. So these are some simplest thing is there. Ability to observe and develop sense making, actually logical skill, you can develop your logical skills. So most of the time computer programmer generally using algorithm to develop logical skills. Why? They can develop large software, and it can sense making to how to develop a project. So algorithm most important part. So learning outcome of this lecture is, what is this? Recognize needing basic syntax of an algorithm. So how can create an algorithm? So basic syntax are there. Working of algorithm. So how can work on it, and different working of algorithm. So different example I explain you. How can create an procedure, how can create a function, how can create a algorithm. So different method is there, so you can create it. So this thing you have to learn it. Working of function and procedure. This is most important part. Function, difference between function and procedure. So both things I describe you. I talk about function and procedure. Example, algorithm, sub algorithm, using the syntax of an algorithm. So all these things we have discussed in this lecture regarding algorithm and sub algorithm. So I hope all of you comfortable with that. Okay. So research scope is there, because without algorithm, without role of various algorithm, multiple decision, without algorithm, research not possible. So in multiple disciplines, all the disciplines using various different type of algorithm to develop any project or application using various algorithm. So algorithm research scope of algorithm is too high, because without algorithm you cannot do, you cannot develop any project, anything, any application. So in the research area, I think algorithm most important part. So this reference book you can refer it. I also referred this book, Tannenbaum. So data structure using C and C++. Also implementation of it of all the data structures like linked list, tree, graph, or all the operations implementing in C using C and C++. So this is most important reference book of Tannenbaum. So I think thank you so much to all of you. We talk about in this lecture regarding the algorithm, sub algorithm, how to design algorithm, all these things we have to discuss. Yeah, research area also, research scope also we discuss in this lecture. So I hope all of you understand with the algorithm and sub algorithm. So prepare for the next lecture. In my next lecture, I tell you about the first data structure. So that is called linear data structure of array. That is array. So we talk about array, and then different type of operation is there. So we will work on that. So I think most important part of array will be start in my next lecture. So all of you comfortable with that. So till then, thank you so much. Thank you.